Have you ever found yourself thinking that some indie games can be even better than the big AAA releases? It may seem counterintuitive, but the truth is that many of these independent games manage to deliver more creative, engaging, and even challenging adventures, far surpassing the giants of the industry. Instead of betting on perfect graphics and million-dollar marketing campaigns, they bring innovation, emotional stories, and gameplay that keeps you hooked from start to finish. These games often offer that sense of discovery and genuine fun that others can't quite capture. This is Jack speaking, and if you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel. I bring daily content, so you won't miss any details from the gaming universe. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd be very happy. From one gamer to another. Starting our list, we have Dead Cells, which shows how an indie game can surpass even the biggest releases in the industry. This action roguelike stands out for its fluid and challenging gameplay, where every move is crucial for survival. With breathtaking pixel art graphics and randomly generated stages, the game keeps the tension and adrenaline high with every new run. The precision of the controls is a strong point, and every battle forces you to be quick and strategic, providing a deeply engaging adventure from start to finish. What makes this game even more fascinating is the variety of weapons and abilities you find throughout the game, allowing for different approaches with each new attempt. This turns every session into something unique, avoiding that repetitive feeling some more conventional games might have. It's a challenging but highly rewarding journey. Moving on, we have Hotline Miami, a game that impresses with its fast-paced action combined with a vibrant retro visual. With a top-down perspective and an electrifying soundtrack, it throws you into intense combat, where every move must be precise. The frenetic gameplay demands quick reflexes and strategic decisions within seconds, creating a constant sense of tension. For those who enjoy games that challenge both senses and skill, this one stands out among the best when it comes to pure, uncompromised action. The charm of this game lies in its visual simplicity and the depth of its mechanics. Even with more modest graphics, the player is immediately drawn in by the need to plan each attack and dodge dangers. The intense trial-and-error rhythm makes playing incredibly addictive. It's the kind of challenge that many big-budget games fail to replicate, giving it a unique identity within the genre. In third place on our list, we have Terraria, a game that mixes building and adventure in a unique way. At first glance, it might seem like just another simple survival game with pixel art graphics, but the depth it offers goes far beyond that. The procedurally generated open world and the freedom to explore underground caverns or build your own base make it the perfect choice for those who enjoy creativity and exploration. Every session is a new discovery, making it hard to put down the controller. The big hook here is the freedom. Every player can choose how to progress. Some prefer exploring biomes and battling enemies, while others dedicate themselves to creating impressive structures. The interesting part is that no matter which path you choose, the game remains challenging and engaging. Many big games can't offer this same flexibility, which makes this title something truly special. In fourth place, we have Hollow Knight, a game that stands out for its dark atmosphere and captivating gameplay. This platformer blends exploration and combat seamlessly, with each area revealing new challenges and secrets. The 2D visuals are charming, with a world design that sparks curiosity to discover every corner. Every step forward in the game provides a sense of accomplishment, with challenges that require precision in every move. The vast and interconnected map is one of the highlights. As progress is made, new abilities are unlocked, granting access to previously unexplored areas, further expanding the possibilities. The gradual exploration mechanics create a strong connection to the world, as each new skill opens doors to hidden secrets. Unlike many conventional games, progression here is built to keep the player constantly engaged. In combat, precision and strategy make all the difference. The battles, especially against bosses, challenge patience and skill, but always deliver a sense of achievement with every victory. Even the toughest moments serve to motivate players to keep seeking new paths. The blend of action, adventure, and exploration elevates this game to a unique level within its genre. In fifth place, we have Stray, a game that offers a unique approach by putting the player in the shoes of a cat in a futuristic city. With stunning visuals and a captivating atmosphere, the game blends exploration with puzzles as you navigate through streets, alleys, and abandoned structures. The feeling of moving with the agility of a feline, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and sliding through narrow corridors adds a special touch that breaks away from the conventional. The city's design is meticulously detailed, creating an environment that invites exploration. Every corner brings something new, whether it's an unexpected interaction or a puzzle to be solved. The interaction mechanics are simple but well executed, creating moments that flow naturally, without forcing the player to adapt to complicated controls. It's a fully immersive experience without needing to rely on a complex narrative or intense combat. Another strong point is the melancholic atmosphere and sense of mystery that pervades the game. Even without extensive dialogues or traditional characters, the way the world is presented creates an intriguing story that holds your attention at every step. Unlike many games that focus on large-scale combat, here it's the simplicity that makes the game so captivating. In sixth place on the list, we have Journey, a game that stands out for its simplicity and visual beauty. In this game, the player controls a hooded figure on a journey through vast deserts and minimalist landscapes, with the goal of reaching the top of a distant mountain. The feeling of vastness and solitude is powerful, yet there's something deeply comforting in every step of this silent walk. Without dialogues or explanatory texts, the game communicates through its environment and mesmerizing soundtrack. The gameplay is extremely intuitive, focused on exploration and interaction with the world around you. The absence of combat or traditional enemies creates an experience that is more about contemplation than action. As the character progresses, they encounter other travelers controlled by real players, but without any direct form of communication, except for sounds emitted by the characters. This simple mechanic reinforces the feeling of silent collaboration, where two strangers share a brief journey together. The visuals and soundtrack play a crucial role in creating a deep emotional connection with the player. Each scene is designed to convey emotions, and the music perfectly adapts to these moments, intensifying the feeling of discovery and reflection. Unlike many games that focus on action, this one offers a more introspective and calm approach, creating something truly unique. In seventh place, we have Inside, a game that blends suspense, mystery, and a dark narrative. In this platformer, the player controls a nameless boy who must traverse a series of dangerous environments and solve puzzles along the way. The minimalist visuals and lack of dialogue create an atmosphere of constant tension, where silence is often as impactful as the moments of action. Every scene is meticulously crafted to generate curiosity and discomfort, keeping the player alert to every detail. The gameplay is simple, but requires a lot of reasoning to solve puzzles, which become more complex as the game progresses. There are chase moments that boost adrenaline, forcing the player to act quickly to escape imminent dangers. Despite being a platformer, it manages to deliver an unexpected depth, making each small victory in solving the puzzles feel significant. The dark visual style and subtle sound effects create a unique atmosphere, where mystery and oppression dominate. Every new environment raises more questions than answers, fueling suspense until the end. In eighth place, we have Limbo, a game that relies on a dark and minimalist atmosphere. The player takes control of a boy on a journey through a world filled with dangers, with black and white visuals that emphasize the game's melancholic tone. The lack of continuous soundtrack and dialogue creates a deep sense of isolation, while ambient sounds further highlight the tension with each step. Each new environment feels desolate and mysterious, maintaining a constant atmosphere of suspense. The gameplay focuses on solving puzzles and overcoming obstacles with simple, yet challenging mechanics. The game's physics add an extra layer of complexity, often requiring the player to think quickly to escape deadly traps. The puzzle design is clever, always introducing new challenges without making the progression feel repetitive. The simplicity of the controls contrasts with the depth of the challenges, creating a dynamic that demands patience and strategy. With a unique aesthetic and a fully implicit narrative, the game stands out for its minimalist approach while still being impactful. Throughout the journey, the player is encouraged to interpret events subjectively, making the game personal and intriguing. Unlike many games that provide clear answers, Limbo prefers to keep the mystery alive until the end, which is part of its charm. In ninth place on the list, we have Hades, a game that combines fast-paced action and roguelike elements with an engaging narrative. In this game, the player must face hordes of enemies and progress through randomly generated levels, ensuring that each new playthrough brings surprises. The combat is frenetic and requires strategy, as each weapon and ability directly impacts how challenges are faced. With each defeat, the player returns to the beginning, but with new upgrades and a renewed desire to push forward. The main appeal lies in the continuous progression and the addictive cycle of trial and error, where each failure presents an opportunity for improvement. This, along with the variety of powers the player can acquire throughout the game, keeps the pace dynamic. The battles are intense and require skill, but they're balanced in a way that makes progress feel fair. It's a game that challenges but consistently rewards the player, ensuring the fun never diminishes. In 10th place, we have Disco Elysium, a game that redefines the RPG genre by focusing more on narrative and choices than traditional combat. The player takes on the role of a detective in a fictional city, and most of the game unfolds through deep, intricate dialogues where each decision can lead to different outcomes. Instead of emphasizing strength or agility, the skill system centers on psychological and intellectual traits, turning interactions into something unique and unpredictable. The gameplay is entirely centered around choices and dialogue development. Every action directly influences how the plot unfolds, and the player has the freedom to shape the detective's personality as they progress. The game offers rare narrative depth, where decisions affect not only the world around the character, but also how they perceive reality. This creates an immersive pace, different from more traditional games that focus on combat. Another striking feature is the artistic design, which reinforces the atmosphere of mystery and decay in the city. The visual aesthetics combine with an immersive soundtrack, contributing to the game's rich atmosphere. The lack of battles doesn't diminish the game's impact. In fact, this unique approach makes the player feel deeply engaged in the world and the stories that emerge with each new decision. In 11th place, we have The Messenger, a game that blends nostalgia with innovation by combining elements of classic platformers with modern mechanics. The player controls a ninja who must traverse various levels, facing enemies and solving puzzles, all in a retro style reminiscent of 80s and 90s classics. However, what starts as a simple 8-bit action game quickly transforms, revealing surprising mechanics involving time jumps and graphic style changes. One of the most fascinating aspects is the transition between 8-bit and 16-bit graphics, which happens during the game, also altering gameplay and exploration possibilities. This mechanic brings constant freshness to the progression, consistently offering new elements to the player. Additionally, the controls are extremely responsive, allowing for agile and precise movements essential for overcoming increasingly complex challenges. This blend of innovation with the aesthetic of old-school games creates something truly special. The mixture of retro elements with modern gameplay puts this game in a category of its own, making it a true homage to the classics with a contemporary twist. In 12th place, we have Ori, a game that combines stunning visual art with refined platforming gameplay. The story is emotional, and the player is taken on a journey through a vast world filled with challenges and puzzles. The artistic design makes each environment feel like a moving painting, and the soundtrack perfectly complements the journey, creating memorable moments throughout the game. From the start, the player feels immersed in a universe full of life and detail. The gameplay is fluid and demands precision, especially in parts where it's necessary to traverse dangerous areas or solve challenging puzzles. The abilities the character acquires along the way open up new exploration possibilities, and the world unfolds organically, encouraging curiosity. The game's pace strikes a perfect balance between moments of tranquility and intense challenges, never tiring the player. The vibrant world and moving narrative create an emotional connection that goes beyond simply playing. It's a visual and sensory experience that few games achieve. Every new ability, every new obstacle overcome, adds another layer of depth, making the player eager to explore every corner of this stunning world. Next, we have Lies of P, a game that draws inspiration from the Souls-like genre, but with a unique twist and visuals inspired by the story of Pinocchio. The game features challenging combat, where players need skill and patience to overcome formidable enemies. The dark and detailed visual style creates a dense atmosphere, perfect for those who enjoy worlds where every detail matters. Precision in combat and understanding enemy behavior are crucial to progressing. The combat mechanics, heavily influenced by Souls-like games, make each fight a true test of patience and strategy. Throughout the adventure, new weapons and abilities are unlocked, allowing for different approaches to tackling the challenges. Exploration also stands out, with areas full of secrets and dangers, encouraging players to be cautious and observant, learning from mistakes and adjusting tactics accordingly. The world blends the fantastical with the grim, resulting in an intriguing setting filled with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Boss battles are especially memorable, not just because of their difficulty, but also due to their visual grandeur. This game keeps players constantly engaged, always looking for the best way to overcome each new obstacle. In 14th place, we have Sifu, a game that offers an innovative approach to the fighting genre, blending hand-to-hand combat with a unique aging mechanic. In this game, each time the player is defeated, they age, which affects both their appearance and abilities. The combat system is highly technical, inspired by martial arts, and requires precision and strategy to defeat opponents. Every punch and dodge must be well-timed to progress through levels packed with relentless enemies. The game's pace is intense, with fights that demand quick reflexes and a keen sense of the opponent's movements. The aging mechanic adds an extra layer of challenge. While the player becomes more experienced and stronger as they grow older, they also lose vitality. This creates a risk-reward dynamic that makes every fight feel even more crucial. Learning from every mistake is necessary, keeping the cycle of losses and victories engaging. Beyond the precise combat, the visuals and atmosphere stand out, with varied and stylized settings that capture the essence of a martial arts film. The combination of challenge, innovation, and a distinctive progression system makes this game unique in the genre, providing an intense and strategic immersion that few games achieve. In 15th place, we have Little Nightmares, a game that blends suspense and puzzles with a dark and unsettling atmosphere. Players are placed in a grotesque world, controlling a small figure trying to escape terrifying creatures while solving puzzles along the way. The setting is oppressive, with a nightmare-like aesthetic that grabs attention from the start. Each environment is meticulously crafted to create a constant sense of tension, where danger can arise at any moment. The gameplay focuses on solving puzzles and avoiding direct confrontations, as the character is fragile compared to the monsters encountered. The feeling of vulnerability is ever present, heightening the tension with every move. The puzzles are clever, often requiring quick thinking to escape threats. The atmosphere of imminent danger is reinforced by a subtle soundtrack and ambient sounds, creating a constant sense of fear. The game's visuals are another highlight, featuring a unique art style that combines childlike elements with the macabre, resulting in something both fascinating and disturbing. The narrative is told implicitly, without dialogue, leaving much to interpretation. This subtle and dark approach sets the game apart from others in the genre, making it a memorable experience within the realm of suspense and puzzle games. In 16th place, we have Subnautica, an underwater survival game that takes the player on a journey through a vast alien ocean. The premise is simple. After a spaceship crash, you must survive on a water-covered planet by collecting resources, building bases, and uncovering the mysteries lurking in the depths. The visuals are stunning, with breathtaking underwater landscapes, but they're also filled with dangers, where gigantic creatures lie in wait. The game isn't just about exploration. Managing oxygen, hunger, and other resources adds a constant layer of tension. As the player progresses, new areas are unlocked, revealing even more secrets of the alien ocean. Base and vehicle construction becomes essential for exploring the deeper, more dangerous areas, requiring careful planning and strategy to ensure survival. With each new discovery, the world becomes more intriguing and perilous. The balance between peaceful exploration and moments of pure adrenaline is one of the game's greatest attractions. The mystery of the underwater world, combined with the feeling of isolation, creates an immersive and captivating atmosphere. Few games deliver such an effective mix of tranquility and danger, making each dive into the depths as exciting as it is challenging. In 17th place, we have Life is Strange, a game focused on interactive storytelling and emotional choices. The story revolves around a young woman who discovers the ability to rewind time, allowing the player to make decisions and then revisit those choices to see how they affect the unfolding events. The narrative is deep and filled with emotional moments, encouraging the player to reflect on themes like friendship, loss, and responsibility. Every decision has consequences, making progress unpredictable and engaging. The game stands out for its interactions with well-developed characters and naturally flowing dialogue. The time rewinding mechanic lets you explore all options, but it doesn't lessen the weight of the choices, as the consequences of these actions deeply affect the world around you. The combination of a strong narrative and the ability to shape the characters' destinies makes each scene impactful, keeping the player's attention on every detail. Visually, the game employs an artistic style that complements its melancholic and introspective atmosphere. The soundtrack is also a highlight, helping to set the emotional tone. Without relying on combat or typical challenges, Life is Strange leans on the strength of its story and the depth of its choices, offering something unique and captivating for players who enjoy story-driven games. In 18th place, we have Stardew Valley, a game that combines farming, exploration, and building relationships with a vibrant community. The player inherits an abandoned farm and is tasked with restoring it by growing crops, raising animals, and participating in the social life of the nearby village. The game offers great freedom in how you choose to spend your days, whether tending to the farm, fishing, mining, or interacting with the townsfolk and building friendships. The progression is incredibly satisfying, with the farm growing as the player unlocks new tools, plants, and resources. Each season brings new activities and challenges, ensuring the game always has something interesting to offer. There's also a social dimension, where the player can participate in festivals, form relationships, and even get married, adding extra depth to the gameplay. The simplicity of the graphics is offset by the richness of the content and detail, making sure there's always something new to discover. The warm and relaxing atmosphere makes this game a pleasant experience, even after hours of gameplay. The laid-back pace allows players to enjoy the game at their own speed, whether focusing on expanding the farm or just enjoying village life. This freedom of choice and the wide range of available activities makes Stardew Valley one of the best examples of simulation and management games. In 19th place, We have Cuphead, a game that stands out for its visual style inspired by 1930s cartoons and its challenging gameplay. The game combines fast-paced action with creative and extremely difficult boss battles, where precision and patience are required to advance. The hand-drawn graphics, along with a jazz soundtrack, create a nostalgic, unique, and charming atmosphere, which contrasts with the game's brutal difficulty level. The main highlight is the boss battles, which are the heart of the game. Each boss has unique attack patterns, and the player must learn to dodge them while attacking at the right moment. The difficulty may seem unforgiving, but the sense of accomplishment when defeating a boss is highly rewarding. The game offers the possibility of upgrades and special abilities to assist in battles, but success largely depends on player skill and practice. Despite its reputation for difficulty, the charming aesthetic and attention to detail make the game an unforgettable experience. It manages to capture the essence of classic platformers and shooters, but with a modern presentation and style that sets it apart from anything else. It's a true test of skill, but with such an engaging look, every defeat feels like motivation to try again. Now that you know these 19 incredible games, here's the question: how many of them have you had the chance to play? Did any game surprise you or make you eager to dive in? And of course, in your opinion, was there any game missing from this list that should have been included? Leave your comment and share your thoughts, as it's always fun to discover new recommendations and learn about different games. And don't forget to subscribe to the Play Hunters channel and turn on notifications to keep discovering more amazing games and stay up to date on everything happening in the gaming world. That way, you won't miss out on any new releases or interesting content. I'm leaving a card with a video about AA games that are better than many big releases. Check it out. I'm sure you'll find a new game to add to your collection. A big hug, and see you tomorrow.